Hello, and thank you for looking at my video clips on luxury goods. Today we're talking about a Rolex Explorer 1. Now the Rolex Explorer 1 is a very interesting watch. To the untrained eye, it looks like a very simple Rolex without a date. However, if you look into the history of Rolex, you'll begin to understand that the Rolex Explorer 1 is a very significant watch in the Rolex range. The Explorer 1 was made famous by Sir Edmund Hillary's attempt to climb the world's tallest mountain, and the watch is attributed with that expedition. The Explorer 1 itself, when it came out, was very similar to some other Rolexes. For example, the Rolex Submariner at the time, when it originally came out, didn't have crown guards, just like the Rolex Explorer 1. The Rolex Explorer 1 also has a very clean dial, and that can also be, if you look at the original Submariners, which didn't have the date function, it is very closely related. The Explorer 1 was a high-grade movement, and it was a chronometer certified movement, which means it went through some vigorous testing. My first Rolex Explorer 1 that I purchased was also my very first Rolex. It was a 1016 Rolex Explorer 1, which is probably that is the most desired of the Explorer 1s. It's the plastic Explorer 1, and it's a watch which I enjoyed for a number of years. Now, the unfortunate thing about knowing about a piece's value is that you become conscious of the fact, hey, I could sell this watch, I could buy something else. And that's sort of a two-edged sword, because in my case, I loved my Explorer 1. I was offered a very good offer for it, which was several times what I paid for the watch. I did buy the watch new. And I sold it and bought a second-hand Rolex Day-Date in 18 karat gold. And it's one of those things. Then the realities of life. Suddenly you have a bad year. I was self-employed at the time, and you sell it to pay some bills and that. And it's quite a sad thing, because if I hadn't have known the value of the 1016, I would probably still have it today. But anyhow, moving on from that the 1016 was a magnificent watch. That's probably one of the most desirable sports watches, plastic sports Rolex watches. And I sold it. And then I was a small Rolex second-hand dealer. I bought and sold a lot of pieces. And I did the Submariners, I did two-tone subs, I did Explorer 2s, I did all the Datejust, two-tone steel. And at the end of the day, the watches that I really loved was the No Date sub, which uses a similar movement to the Explorer 1. And I did enjoy a no-date sub for a period of time, because I liked the clarity of the dial. And I then realized that what I was really yearning for was my Explorer 1 back. Now, obviously, the 1016s being very rare and collectible, I found it hard to justify the price for them. And in my view, the only thing better than a 1016 is a 14270, which is the sapphire version of the 1016. And they're quite a bargain at the moment. At the moment, they're considered a little bit small, because the Explorer 1 uses the 36mm case. It's very similar to a Datejust case, but I believe it uses the 20mm bracelet, just like the Datejust do as well. However, I believe it's slightly smaller. So the 14270, they're a fantastic watch which you can pick up at a really good price now. They were once, this is going back five or so years ago, they were a very hot watch. Explorer 1, the 1016 is still a hot watch, but the Sapphire version now, particularly the Holes case one, is no longer flavour of the month. They're still a desirable watch, of course, but I think myself they represent probably the best Explorer 1 as far as a bang per buck analysis goes. If you buy a Sapphire 14270 Explorer 1, you're getting in my opinion, I think Sapphire is better than the plastic, besides the collectible factor that plastic is very, very collectible. You're getting a very, very good sports watch you're buying it second hand at a great price. What's happened is Rolex has announced, this was in last year, 2009, they announced that they're bringing out a new Explorer 1 with a 39mm case, which compares to its current 36mm case. So it's going to be a much bigger presence in the watch there, and in my opinion, now maybe this is just me being a bit cynical, but I kind of like the size of the current Explorer 1s, the 1016 and the 14270. I think the size of it is quite good. I think it wears very well. It's a very nice watch without being over the top. It's just a bit unfortunate that companies have to follow trends and they have to adjust their product to what the market wants. And this big watch, I can see no reason for having a big chunky watch. But there you go. That's the way it's changing. I haven't actually seen the new Explorer 1 in the larger case yet, but that promises to be a nice watch. I think a 14270 at the moment with holes, if you get one of those pre-owned, you're going to have a fantastic watch that'll last a lifetime, and I really can't see you losing any money on it. I think they'll the way the prices are on those, they can only go back up again. Thank you, and I hope you've enjoyed this review, and please continue to look at my other videos. Thank you.